I'm pleased to introduce my first guest, Mr. Richard Serber. He is the CEO of Nexia Holdings Incorporated, stock symbols NXHD. Richard, good to see you.
Good to see you, Don.
Welcome to the program. Now, Richard, Nexia Holdings describes itself as a diversified holdings company with holdings in retail, health and beauty, fashion, real estate. Give us a general overview of the company, if you would.
Well, yeah, we have several subsidiaries. I mean, the predominant focus right now is on the salon division of the company. We currently have 2 salons, and they sell Aveda products exclusively. And we operate according to the Aveda guidelines. I guess the other area of operation that we're focusing on quite heavily is distressed real estate. And a third area is picking up investments in other speculative companies, kind of like Nexia. We've picked up close to $3.5 million worth of convertible securities over the last 6 months. The last thing that we have is the blackchandelier.com, which is a retail clothing website. That portion of the company we've kind of mothballed until the retail sector picks back up again.
Well, let's talk about the Landis Salons for just a moment. You mentioned you have 2 salons. You're operating currently in Utah. They operate under the Aveda guidelines. And I should mention Aveda is owned by Estee Lauder. But tell us about these salons. Very interesting.
Well, I made about a $500,000 personal investment into Landis Salons, the flagship store. It's about 4,000 square feet. We have 20 stations there. It does about $2.1 million in gross revenue. That particular salon is it throws off probably a 10% net profit, and we have ambitious plans to duplicate that model, hopefully throughout the United States.
Well, you sent us some footage that we're looking at right now of an Aveda salon, one of your salons. Tell us what we're looking at.
You're looking at our 4,000 square foot facility. It was we did the build out. The building was a turn of the century property. They refaced the front of it. It's done with all environmentally friendly construction materials. So the floor is a bamboo. It has about 1,000 square foot worth of retail space. And all the employees that you see there are actual employees, and that the exterior and our logo, that's all us.
That's interesting. Now, does the company plan to wholly own all of the outlets that you're going to expand to? Are there perhaps franchise opportunities available?
I think we're going to go both directions. Initially, what I'd like to do is probably open up probably 4 additional salons in the greater downtown Salt Lake area initially, and then from there spread out, and then hopefully acquire a lot of existing salons as well. They don't necessarily have to be Aveda salons, using our public company stock as a currency to do so.
That's really interesting. Once again, we're talking about Nexia Holdings Incorporated. NXHD is their stock symbol. Call our toll-free number from anywhere in the world for free information in the mail, 888-259-4449. Now, Richard, you also have a relationship or subsidiary, I should say, something called Green Endeavors Limited. They're actually a publicly traded company, GNRE. What are your plans for that?
Well, I mean, that's going to be the salon division of Nexia. So all the salon operations are going to are in that particular entity. But as we expand, additional locations will go into that particular entity. And I'm mainly the guy that helps finance these things, get them off the ground. What we're going to do is we're going to assemble a team that's just going to focus on the salon. So that could be a real success unto itself. I mean, it's traded on the gray sheets right now. We're going to put together what they call a 15C211, which should get them traded on the pink sheets, and we should be able to raise some money in that entity on its own. And then hopefully at some point we will spin off shares of Green Endeavors to the Nexia shareholders.
I see.
And the Nexia will also probably maintain a controlling interest in that for quite some time and receive the benefit of hopefully dividends.
Do you see this as like perhaps part of your overall business model? Because you have several different holdings, and do you see putting each one or each classification of a holding into its own publicly traded company, or is this like an isolated case?
I think this will be an isolated case. I mean, I'm predominantly a deal sort of maker is how I see myself. So, but with respect to this, I think we need to have focus.
Okay.
And I think it warrants putting it in its own entity, and if we get 30, 40, 50 salons to start off with, and they're all doing $1 million to $2 million in gross revenues a year, then we'd be off to a fantastic start.
That'd be a nice package. Yeah. Now, how about celebrity endorsements? Every time we hear about anything to do with fashion or health and beauty, celebrities always seem to get involved in that. Does that fit into your plans?
Actually, yeah, we Nexia retained a production company that's going to help us retain a celebrity endorser, and my hopes are that we find someone that's in the salon industry that knows lots of salon owners, okay, and that will help build our brand, and give us instant name recognition. So I think that celebrity can really help with respect to our acquisition strategy of acquiring additional salons, as well as riding on the coattails of the celebrity.
So you're basically involved in an active search for just that right person or persons right now?
Yeah, I think we're getting pretty close to it as well. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned at the top of the interview something about being involved in distressed real estate, and I find that fascinating right now because that's on the lips of everyone that's talking about the economy. Tell us about your real estate holdings.
Well, we have a couple of homes. We have a couple of commercial pieces of real estate. We recently acquired a small interest in an operating oil and gas leases. So, I'm looking to build the real estate portfolio as well, because I think now is the time to buy.
Of course.
So we're looking at anything that makes sense with that respect, as long as we think it's a bargain.
It's interesting because, on this program over the 13 years we've been on the air, I've had companies come in that refer to themselves as holdings companies, but you are truly a holdings company because you have such a diversified portfolio.
Yeah. So, it keeps me busy.
Now, going back to real estate, current economic conditions have rendered many properties available at extremely attractive prices. Is the company set up that when they see a deal that is very attractive, they have the ability to just go ahead and move on it?
Well, typically what we're looking for is owner financing situations, okay, or maybe there's large swaths of these bank-owned properties as well. What I like to do is find that bank that wants to offload tens of millions of dollars worth of real estate onto Nexia in exchange for a preferred equity interest in Nexia. So we use our stock in order to buy those distressed pieces of real estate. Then, of course, the other piece that would have to come together is we have to raise enough money so we could rehab them and rent them out and sit on them and collect rental income, or at some point perhaps flip them. But it's out there.
So you're picking these up as investments, but you're also turning them into revenue-generating properties by turning them into, as you mentioned, rental income.
Yeah, we've done this in the past. We had a 78,000 square foot shopping center where the roof was falling in, type situation. We got the thing 100% rented out and flipped it for $1 million profit.
Wow.
We bought a turn-of-the-century office building. I think it's 38,000 square foot. And November of last year, we sold that for just under $2.2 million. We initially picked it up for $600,000. Of course, we did a lot of repairs to it. But those are examples of some of the things that we've done.
Great. Now, again, we're talking with Nexia Holdings Incorporated. NXHD is their stock symbol. Our toll-free number for free information in the mail anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449. Now, Richard, you recently put out a press release, and you wanted to put an end to any present speculation that the company was considering a reverse stock split. Can you enlighten us on that?
Well, a lot of investors had concerns about the stock being reversed because there are about 11 billion shares issued and outstanding. But at the current price, or at the current market price, it's only a market cap, as far as the common stock is concerned, of about $1.1 million.
Okay.
In the last 30 days, the company's traded probably close to 9 or 10 billion shares. I'm not, if there's good liquidity in a pink sheet company like ours, I don't see any point in doing a reverse stock split. Since the price is so small, or, since it's so low, it's almost like a lottery type situation. If the thing runs and you're able to pick it up at the current market price, it's not inconceivable that the thing could increase tenfold in price. I'm not making any stock predictions, but it's possible.
Well, I want to applaud you for being able to come forward and tell your shareholders exactly what you're thinking. We see that less and less these days. Almost out of time. Why is this a good time right now for folks to take a close look at your company?
Well, I think the salon concept is a fantastic one. we've laid the foundation with respect to that. The current price that our common stock is trading at, I think that's a factor that should be looked into. I mean, the fact that we are diversified and do have holdings in real estate, I'll give myself a pat on the back as well. I think I'm very talented and have done enough things and made enough mistakes at this point to, I think, get it right this time around. So.
Outstanding. Once again, Nexia Holdings, NXHD. Richard, we're initiating coverage of your company this week. We'll be following you for about 13 weeks or so. Want to get some updates from you as you continue to progress. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Don.